This horse is Lion Tamer. He was one of the early favourites of last year's Melbourne Cup, yet he never made it to Cup Day. In fact, he broke a leg during the Cox Plate, and because of the severity of that injury, he needed to be euthanised. That was a flat race. There was no accident, not even a misstep, yet a broken leg. Have you ever wondered how this happens? These fractures are a severe form of stress fractures. They account for about 2/3 of all deaths of racehorses on a track. They develop because tiny little cracks accumulate in a horse's bones with each step it takes at fast speed gallop. Cracks so tiny they don't hurt. Cracks so tiny there's no test to see them in a live horse. Yet in high numbers, these cracks are powerful enough to break a bone. As there is no easily accessible and cheap test to diagnose these injuries early on, and treatment is expensive and often impossible, the best way to approach these fractures is prevention. We know that these cracks can heal if the horse is given a rest before there are too many of them. The question is, when is it time for that rest? Currently, trainers answer that question based on their experience, together with a little bit of guesswork. But wouldn't it be great if they'd had a computer model which helped them making that decision more precisely? And in order to develop such a computer model, we need to know the mechanical properties of a horse's bones. And that's where my research comes into play. I investigate those mechanical properties. Such work can only be done in a lab, and I use horses of bones that died for reasons unrelated to my study. I apply different forces to the bones and count how often I can apply them before they break. Each force corresponds to a different speed of gallop. The relationship between the different forces and how often I could apply them can be expressed in a mathematical formula. This formula, in turn, can be used in a computer model. Now, the model needs to be individualized, taking into account each horse's age and its previous training history. But we feel that if we take all that information together, we can develop a tool which helps the trainers to decide whether there are too many cracks in a horse's bones and it needs a rest, or whether it can continue racing safely, so that in the future, fewer horses will need to be euthanized on the racetrack, and tragedies like lion tamers can be prevented. Thank you.